So I just recently finished filming my latest short documentary film called Jobless. It's on the channel. If you're a subscriber, you've already seen it. This documentary is somewhat of a fictional documentary. There are parts that are true, there are parts that aren't, but it's highlighting my brother and his experience job searching. Now, after working on this short documentary and releasing it on YouTube, it kind of got me thinking on a few points I want to bring across to other filmmakers like me. These tips won't be in any specific order, so I'm not ranking these in any way. They're just what I think is important. My first tip when making a short film is that the moment that you have an idea that just pops into your head, go out and shoot that idea. Now, obviously, you need to write this idea down. You need to write a script for this short film. You need a storyboard for this short film. But what I'm saying is that when you have this idea, start now and start to execute on that idea, or else it's going to be forgotten. A lot of the times with my ideas, I've noticed that if I'm not writing them down, if I'm not training my mind to like be serious about that idea, I'm going to forget that I came up with it and that film will never get done. So that's my first tip. Write that idea down and get started on it right away. For this latest film, this was just a spur of the moment idea that I just thought of on the spot, and I told my brother, I'm like, hey, you're looking for a job. Wouldn't it be funny if we did a short documentary showing your day-to-day life? I'm glad that I executed on this idea right away because I was able to write things down, I was able to plan out shots that I wanted for this film, and I was able to actually get the project done. My next tip is pretty simple, and that is that comparison is bad, as a filmmaker especially. A lot of the time, if you start to compare your work specifically to a YouTuber who has loads of subscribers, who has been filmmaking professionally for years and years, it will put doubts into your head. So don't compare your project that you're working on to some project that a YouTuber was working on, because every single videographer is different and unique in their own way. Going along with my last tip, this tip is to not let gear scare you. What I mean by that is going along with comparison. If we are comparing the gear that we have to other filmmakers, we tend to doubt what our video will look like in the end because maybe someone else is shooting on a Red or a better Sony or a better Canon than what we have. My advice is to go out and shoot with whatever you have, whether it's an iPhone, an old Canon DSLR, an old Sony, whatever you have. Don't let gear scare you, and especially don't let gear stop you from just going out and shooting something. I tend to have doubts when it comes to my own lighting or my lens isn't as good, but I feel much more confident when I just start shooting and I start filming and I'm like, this looks great. This is what I wanted it to look like. All that you need is a camera. All that you need is natural light from windows. Just go out and shoot and you'll feel much more confident. I tend to use like budget lights that I find off Amazon because I hear that they're great and that they're really, really cheap, and they work wonders for me. I will definitely suggest some, maybe in like a future video, I can go over my lighting setup that I did for Jobless and how I pulled off the shots that I did, but everything really in that last film that I did was on a budget. So shoot with what you have and just give it a shot. I guess that's the best way I can say that, is to just try it out with what you have and you'll be surprised with how good you can make your videos look with such cheap equipment. And then once again, wrapping this up with my main and final point of creating what you want to create. Filming what you want to film, however you want to put it. My point is that a lot of the time we hear ideas from other sources on, oh, this would be great in a video that you did. Oh, you should try this idea. You should film a story about this. The point is that you yourself are the creator. You decide and you have a vision of something that will look really, really good. You need to go out and shoot it yourself. Even if it's by yourself in your solo filmmaking, I suggest that you create the thing that initially popped into your head and not someone else's. So that's all I got for you in today's video. Just create what you want to create, because in the end, you will have a much higher drive to make something that you had the idea for in the first place. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.